Commander Vexthor's 4 eyes blinked in disbelief as he stared at the monitoring screen. The human was still going. More troubling, the human was laughing. "This has to be a malfunction," muttered Lieutenant Kresh, his scales rippling with confusion. "No species can maintain neural coherence after 50 hours of continuous physical and mental stress testing." The Galactic Military Academy's infamous Crucible test had broken every cadet who'd attempted it over the past 3 centuries. The record was held by a Chromath warrior who'd lasted 9 hours before his 3 hearts gave out. Most cadets tapped out around hour 6 when the hallucinations became unbearable. Cadet Jake Morrison from Earth was currently doing push-ups while reciting what appeared to be ancient Earth poetry. Badly. There once was a man from Nantucket. Jake grunted between reps, his voice hoarse but steady. "What is a Nantucket?" Vexthor asked, genuinely confused. Kresh pulled up Jake's file on his datapad. Human. Male. 23 standard years. From a nation-state called the United States of America. Enlisted 6 months ago. Unremarkable physical specs compared to other species. Average intelligence scores. No genetic modifications. He paused. "Sir, according to this, humans are classified as a Class 3 endurance species. That's the same category as the Veplians." "The Veplians who failed at Hour 4. "Correct, sir." On screen, Jake had moved to the next phase, the thermal chamber. The temperature cycled between -40 and +60 degrees Celsius every 15 minutes. Most species could handle 3 cycles before organ damage became critical. Jake was on cycle 37. "How is his core temperature stable?" Vexthor demanded. "It's not, sir. It fluctuates by nearly 2 degrees. But somehow, he just keeps adapting. Look at this. His body produces water through his skin pores when overheated, then restricts blood flow to extremities when frozen. It's primitive, but effective." Jake was now singing. Off-key. Something about a highway to hell. The other cadets had gathered outside the observation room. ZYX, a Thorian who'd tapped out at Hour 5, pressed his face against the glass. Is the human dancing? Indeed, Jake had begun what could only be described as the worst attempt at dancing Vexthor had ever witnessed. His movements were uncoordinated, ridiculous, and completely unnecessary for test completion. "Medical readings?" Vexthor asked. Elevated cortisol, adrenaline, and something called endorphins, flooding his system. His body is literally drugging itself to keep going. Heart rate is double baseline, but still within human normal ranges. He's burning through calories at an alarming rate, but his fat reserves are compensating. Kresh looked up from his screen. "Sir, I think we need to stop the test. This isn't normal. The human hasn't activated his emergency beacon. He probably doesn't remember he has one." On screen, Jake stumbled through the next challenge, a maze filled with disorienting sonic waves that scrambled spatial reasoning. He bounced off walls, fell twice, but kept moving forward with the determination of a species that apparently didn't understand the word quit. "You know what this place needs?" Jake's voice crackled through the speakers. "A Starbucks. I'd kill for a venti latte right now. Extra shot. Make it 4 extra shots." He laughed at his own joke, the sound slightly unhinged. Hour 54 arrived. The test entered its final phase, complete sensory deprivation. Cadets were placed in isolation tanks where they faced nothing but their own minds. The psychological warfare usually broke the strongest warriors within minutes. Jake lasted 2 hours. When Vexthor finally ordered the test terminated at Hour 56, not because Jake had failed, but because the facility's safety protocols demanded it, they found the human floating peacefully in the deprivation tank, asleep. He'd apparently decided that if he couldn't leave, he might as well take a nap. The medical team extracted him carefully, expecting catastrophic system failure. Instead, Jake opened his eyes, grinned, and asked, "Did I pass?" "You." Vexthor struggled to form words. "You destroyed a 3-century-old record by 47 hours. Cool. Can I get some pizza? I'm starving." The medical examination revealed something that would change galactic military doctrine forever. Humans weren't exceptionally strong or fast. They weren't the smartest or most technologically advanced. But they possessed something far more terrifying: persistence. Jake's biology was designed for endurance hunting, an ancient practice where humans simply followed their prey until the animal collapsed from exhaustion. His mind could compartmentalize suffering, crack jokes in the face of pain, and find motivation in the most absurd places. "Why?" Vexthor finally asked Jake, who was devouring his third meal. "Why didn't you stop? You were hallucinating. Your body was destroying itself. Why keep going?" Jake shrugged, swallowing a bite of something called a cheeseburger. "My dad always said, Morrisons don't quit. Plus, honestly, after hour 40, it got funny. I wanted to see how long I could last before you guys gave up watching me." He grinned. "Guess I won." Lieutenant Kresh pulled Vexthor aside. "Sir, Earth has 8 billion of these creatures." Vexthor's scales paled. "And they want to join the galactic military?" "No, sir. They want to join the Galactic Alliance. As equals." For the first time in his military career, Commander Vexthor felt something he'd never experienced: fear of a species classified as average. Because if humans were average, what were they capable of when pushed to their limits? Jake Morrison finished his meal, stood up, and stretched. "So, when does advanced training start?" "I'm ready to go." Behind him, every alien cadet took an unconscious step backward. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage. And they weren't leaving.